This is the plaintiff, Henry Wyzerza. He says the defendant is his long-lost cousin who he loaned money to. And when he asked her to start paying it back, she said she didn't have to because they were family. What? He never agreed to just give her the money. She has some nerve stiffing him because he saw her on Facebook hooting and hollering it up on vacation in New York and New Orleans. And he wants his $2,200 loan returned. So he's suing. This is the defendant, Chris. She says her cousin offered to help her out financially and never expected him to ask for the money back because he made it seem like the money was a gift. She couldn't believe it, and when she received the papers from court saying he was suing her, she was beside herself. Oh, him for a gift he gave her? No way. She's accused of copping out on a cousin.
All parties, please hit 13. Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Henry Wyzerza, you are suing Chris, your cousin. You've asked us not to mention your last name for $2,200, $2,100 a loan you made her, $50 which you're estimating for interest, and $50 for withdrawal fee.
Yes.
What happened?
This year, earlier in the beginning of the year, in April, she called me and said, hey, cuz, I need
She's your cousin?
She's my cousin.
Okay.
I need some money, I'm getting evicted. And I said, well, how much do you need? She's like, well, how much can you give me? I said, I don't know, how much do you need? And she's like, maybe $5,000. I said, well, I gotta think about it. I don't like loaning money to people, especially family. So I thought about it overnight and I said, I'm gonna help her out. And it happened to be a good week for me at work, so I decided I would give her...
What do you do for a living?
I'm an auto mechanic for the post office.
Okay.
And they had us in overtime at that time, and I was making okay money, so...
Was she working?
I assumed she was working. I think she was working.
You don't know?
I'm not positive.
Okay, go on.
So I called her the next day.
And were you two close?
No, not very close. I had just moved to Florida about 8 months prior. And we kind of just hooked back up as family.
Right.
We kind of grew up together about 30 years prior to that in Michigan, but had not seen her in a long time.
Okay. So what happens? You think about it overnight?
I thought about it, and I said, yeah, I'm going to help you out. She, at the time that she asked me, she said, I'm getting my tax return back in a few weeks. I get about $10,000 back a year, so it's only going to be a temporary loan, a few weeks. And I'm like, okay, I'll help my cousin out. So I had... That Friday, I had... How
much do you normally get back every year?
About $8,000 to $10,000.
Okay. What a coincidence that he knows that. Go ahead.
So I said, okay, that Friday I'm getting paid. I can give you some cash then, and I can take a quick loan out from my retirement account, which I did.
And that's where the $50 fee came in?
It's a $50 fee.
Do you have proof of the $50 fee?
I do. So I went online.
So how much did you take out?
$2,100.
So the total that you gave her was $2,100?
Correct.
Is there any dispute about that the total he gave you was $2,100?
No, it was correct.
Okay, so then what happened?
So then I gave her the money, and I just waited.
Right.
Week or two went by, the end of April went by, the end of tax time went by. Now it's May. Hey, cuz, what's going on? I haven't heard from you. No return. Hey, cuz, what's going on? I'm leaving messages, I'm leaving texts, no return. And then eventually she started texting me back saying, well, what do you mean? I thought that was a gift, your family. I'm like, no, Chrissy, I'm family, but if I had that much money, I wouldn't have had to take a loan out.
Can I hear from you, Chris?
Well, I've been struggling, and my husband passed away about 6 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And so I didn't ask for the money because I was struggling with my rent payment, and my daughter lives with me.
How old's your daughter?
She's 18 now.
And were you working?
I was working. I worked 2 jobs, but it still doesn't make my ends meet. So I had asked them if he could help me. And
how much was your rent?
My rent is $1,100.
And you're in what town? Pinellas?
Yes, I'm in Pinellas.
Okay.
And he said he'll be able to help me, and I was appreciative with that. But I didn't think that I'd have to pay him back.
Why not?
Because we're family. I mean,
so
you do things for family.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is it a good idea or a bad idea to loan money to relatives?
I think it's a bad idea.
Because?
Because if they don't pay you back, it can ruin the relationship.
What are you saying?
I'll pay her back.
Stop.
By saying that, I don't believe you.
Oh, I know. I don't believe you
Bad
either.
idea.
What are you saying?
Bad idea.
Why?
It could cause conflict.
But what if a relative of all people, if they need money, you kind of want to help them out, right?
Of course, you want to be as supportive as possible, and if they make it rich, they pay you back.
And then if they don't, you're a sucker.
No, not really.
Kind of really, going inside the courtroom.
Have you ever loaned anybody in your family $2,000?
No.
If you
A few
did, would you
dollars, but
expect
not
them
a
to pay you back?
It depends on the situation. I probably wouldn't because it's family.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't help but notice you've never done it though.
No, not that much money, maybe
No,
a few $100.
right? That's critical.
Yeah.
Because if it was $20, I could hear you. Oh, we're family. You're really suing me for the $20?
Right.
But it's $2,100.
I know.
And did you know he had to take it out of his 401k?
He did mention it, yes.
So it's
Didn't
not
mention
like it's lying around. Not that it makes a difference, but it's not like it's lying around. The guy had to go through a bunch of hoops to get it to you.
No, I understand he
And
did.
how do you figure that you don't have to pay it? I'm fascinated by you.
Blood is
It's
thicker than
family.
water.
It's the family exception to the loan law. You know, why on earth would you not be required to pay back? Because it just sounds like you're just a freeloader, like you don't want to pay your bills. I don't know where you're spending your money, but because you're working 2 jobs, so you should be spending your money on paying your bills. If you are working 2 jobs, but it sounds like you just want to, do to him what you did to the landlord, where you were on the eviction process before you finally paid that bill. And no, cuz, that's not how it works. You made this guy actually take you to court to get back. So now you look terrible in front of the family. How many people are angry at her? Nobody, or are they angry at you? How's the family reacting?
Well, I've kept everything quiet because I didn't want to embarrass.
Oh, well, I don't know how to break it to you. You're on national television right now. So it's not going to be quiet for long. I am ruling in your favor in the amount of $2,100 plus prejudgment statutory interest in the state of Florida. And by the way, when you say, I didn't think I'd have to pay it back, why would I believe you when he happens to know the exact amount that you get back every year? If you hadn't in fact told him that, I'll pay you back when my taxes, how would he possess that knowledge?
I still had to pay other bills.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
What's your answer? You don't have one.
Right.
Just keep it shut.
Well-
All right, verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff is finally going to get his $2,100 back. You aren't surprised at the outcome, are you?
I'm not surprised, but still shocked. I mean, family's family, and we try doing things for family and helping each other out.
But you're shocked at what? That he sued you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I'm shocked.
Are you shocked at what the judge said to you? She was amazed.
She was, I think she was shocked too.
She was?
She was shocked. We both were shocked.
So what have you learned?
Don't borrow money
Well, that's great if you don't.
from anybody.
From anybody. Well, I feel sorry for you, but my goodness, I think everybody watching here is thinking, what's
I
going
think
on
so.
in your head?
I think so too. Yeah. Well, now it's a reality check.
Okay. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. I don't think he'll lend you any more money anytime soon. This is a real shame you had to do this.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing. I should have listened to the old advice. You don't loan money to friends and family.
I mean, you went overboard to get the money. Was it a tough decision for you to do it, to loan her money?
It was hard, yes.
Will you do this again?
Hopefully I won't ever have to. I've learned a lesson.
Well, good for you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay. A lesson well learned, Harvey. What do you think?
I got to tell you, if it's a loan and it's a family member, send them an email. It's especially important to make it clear with family.